Yeah, I went to the same doctor in East Point for about 11 years, and then I moved to the Port Huron area, and I had to find a new primary care physician. I had a dermatologist here, but I needed a primary care. And I went in there, I had this thing on my neck. I have a history of basal cell and squamous cell cancer. And I had this thing on my neck, and it was acting like a squamous cell cancer. I had 3 or 4 times. And he told me, he looked at it and so forth, and he says, well, I said to him about a biopsy, and he says, well, come back in 2 weeks for billing purposes. That's what he said to me. And so 2 weeks I went back, and by that time this thing was gone, and the squamous have acted like that before. And this guy was bound and determined to do a biopsy. So I said, well, take your shirt off. And he looked around, and he found something on my back. I didn't complain about it, didn't know it was there, it wasn't hurting or itching or anything. He says, well, I'm going to take a biopsy. I said, well, I got an appointment with the other doctor in 2 weeks or something. Oh, no, you should do this right away. So I went along with it, and I thought he was going to take just a little piece of the problem and do a biopsy. He carved me up like a Thanksgiving turkey. And
wow.
I know that I figure it's probably not something that's going to be $1 million involved, but I want to take some sort of punitive action, including filing with Medicare over that deal. They really treated me lousy there anyway.
Yeah. Well, Medicare is not going to be able to do anything for you. The place you want to file with is the Michigan Attorney General's Office, Office of Licensing, and then they'll investigate it. But, the thing is that we got to figure out if he fell below the standard of care, number one. And number two, we got to figure out if you've got any damages. So, do you have damages other than maybe some disfigurement of your body?
Well, I have a scar on my back. I can't even really see it. I don't know what that amounts to legally speaking or dollar speaking. It just seems to me that somebody like that needs to be stopped. And as a matter of fact, when I got the biopsy report, it was called I can't think of the name.
Listen, I'm going to advise you right now, if you try to pronounce that word, you might break your tongue, so don't do that, okay? Even I might break my tongue if I try to pronounce it, okay? Huh?
Seborrheic keratosis, that's what it's called. And I have those other places. I have a couple of them on my face. Yep.
Listen, hey, Tommy, I got to tell you something. We got to figure out, first of all, did the doctor fall below the standard of care? And I'm not certain necessarily that the doctor did. I'm not saying he did or didn't, but it doesn't sound like he did, okay? He may have been a bit over-aggressive, and he may have given you a bad result, but that doesn't equal necessarily malpractice. We're very blessed in Michigan to have a great team of doctors all across the state of Michigan, including the UP. Some doctors screw up, and we're here to level the playing field when that happens. But to be honest with you, I'm not certain that that's what happened in this case. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is you get in touch with the Attorney General's office, make a complaint, and see what they come up with. Now, you want to remember also that you've only got 2 years to start the process of a medical malpractice claim. So if you let it go more than 2 years, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So first thing Monday morning, call the Attorney General's office, tell them what you want to do. They'll send you the forms, fill them out, and watch it. And make sure that you get in touch with an attorney. You can call us if you like, 6 months before the second anniversary of your of the procedure, okay?
Yeah, one quick question, though. Somebody told me when he told me to come back in 2 weeks for billing purposes that was, I don't know if it's called illegal, but certainly unethical. Is that correct?
I don't even know what that means. I've never heard of a doctor saying anything like that. I don't know. I don't know what that. Maybe he was referring to the fact that his biller was not in the office and he didn't want to do any services until she or he got there to pick him. You know what? It's one of those things that you just you scratch your head over and think maybe that's the eighth wonder of the world. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm not going back to him, obviously.
Well, good for you.